All right, we are now live again
Okay.
for another Friday
Happy,
of Happy Hour of Code.
happy Friday.
Yeah, so coming from last weekend or last Friday, I was showing the Canvas stuff I had done that I had built, right? So it was all homegrown Canvas process or um, doing Canvas work with it right within JavaScript, right? So it's kind of building my own engine, doing all that kind of stuff, and I started running into some problems. Um, Mostly just lack of understanding, and I don't know how much time I wanted to spend actually going through and trying to figure it all out. I I think I would like to at some point go back and try to do it again, but I started looking to find some other engines out there that might be easier to kind of get started up with. And I was telling you, Pete, about it earlier this week. Was that I found this one here called Phaser. Uh,
Yeah, this looked pretty cool.
Yeah, and this what was nice that I liked about it is it seemed fairly simple to get started with. Like it didn't require a lot of complex configuration and a lot of complex setup to just kind of get rolling. Like I feel like we should be able to get kind of something happening right away, and then trying to figure out um, how to tie it into the result, uh, like the result from actual stuff happening on the stream. I think will be fairly quick. Maybe it won't be great; it'll be really dirty, but I think we can actually do it. I've
Right.
only played with it a little tiny bit, so you're gonna have to bear with me. It's like I don't know, so you may want to keep up some of the documentation for it, Pete. So as we're digging
Okay.
through it, that
Maybe I will.
we could
Let
kind
me
of
start looking for that. Okay.
yeah, because uh, it's one of those ones. I mean, I'm probably gonna be bouncing back and forth to it, but they offer so much stuff, right? Like if you look at just the phaser features here, it's like it'll actually do WebGL by default. So there's this option you can tell it auto, and so it'll actually do WebGL. And if WebGL isn't available, it'll switch over to the Canvas mode. So what that really gives you is that if it's WebGL, it'll actually take advantage of the graphics processor of the computer that it's on or the system it's on. And since a lot of the new, even like the newer phones and stuff, are actually having graphic engines or video cards built into them now, where they support WebGL. It's really like you're going to find a lot of support for it. Then it's like it has preloading capabilities, it has physics, sprites, freaking input, sound, tile maps. It has all the stuff that you could ever need for doing this type of stuff. The big one for us that I was excited about was the fact that it had the support for not just animations and particles, which are two great things, but they don't really even talk about it here too much, but it's actually this capability of doing tweening, which will allow us to create not just like animations of sprites, but actually like a complex like storyboard. So we can actually like say we want to have something where we're going to have some sparkles like pop up the screen, and then we want it to drop back down at the end of it. We can actually control that with this tweening capability, which is nice because it'll allow us to, do more complex animations than just a simple sprite. So I was like, this, because that's what I was trying to figure out. Actually, what made me go, oh, this is going to be really hard. I was like, how do I do this? And then I came across this, and I'm like, oh, they're doing it already. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
just try that one out. See how
Yeah. So
that
we
goes.
had talked about it and decided, like, yeah, why are we going to reinvent the wheel? Let's get
Yeah,
some animations rolling. So,
yeah. So
so
the
let's get
next
some animations rolling.
one more thing I wanted to kind of bring up as part of this. So one of the things, I think I shared this link, but Microsoft has released this Cascadia code. It's a font. It's a mono space font, so it's good for coding. And I've actually set it up, so I'm actually using it right now on my installation. Right, so it has this look to it. So it has a little bubblier, like kind of context to it, but it makes the letters actually stand out nicely. But one of the things that it actually has in this set, you have to turn it on in Visual Studio or in VS Code. But if you do something like you say not equal to 1, now it'll actually switch it to this single
So you
character.
typed bang equal?
Yep. Yeah. So watch. So I do bang, and then I hit equals.
Ooh.
And watch this. So if you do greater than,
Oh.
do less than, you actually get the like the mathematical symbols that they would normally use for it. So the other thing that's neat too is that if you do lambdas, so you're going to do something like where it's like X, it'll actually switch it to where it's a single character with the...
Yeah, the arrow.
Yeah.
The actual arrow.
Yeah, the other thing too is if you do like a double equals, like it makes it a long equals. So it's kind of neat. I thought it was cool, so I thought I would install it, and I've been playing with it today because they just finally came out with like a version that they're like, this is probably like they're done with it. So
did you put this on Slack at some point today?
I did. I put it in random.
Random? Okay. I'll throw a link up on the website.
Yeah, so just as a quick thing here, like in Visual Studio, if you go to the preferences, going through the UI version for it, if you look at under font, so like I installed it and then I added it here, right? So I could use, this is what would be used. And obviously if you don't find that, it'll switch down to Consolis. But the other thing is there's this font ligatures. So that's what gives you that switching between like the equals to like the equal with the slash through it, right?
Okay.
So like if I turn this off and I would go back to the controller here, like you'll see it's back to normal where it has the two equals there, right? Okay. So this is what gives you that capability. And because really what it is I think I remember somebody talking about it, and I don't remember how long ago it was, but I remember them mentioning that these ligatures were coming along, and what they've done is they created like a specific portion of the font map that's for these. So it'll actually do that kind of, it gives you the capability of adding that to your font pack. So, and not a lot of them support it, but that's what they're starting to try to support there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Okay, thanks for that.
Yeah, that font's kind of neat too, because I like I don't know, it's nice. I thought it has like I wish I could bring up side by side.
I've looked at enough code, I can see it. I can see the difference. I mean, you can see that the parens are like rounder.
Yeah, like they're more like almost like blocky instead of like
the tails on the bottoms of like the U and the L and the T there result like those they're a little longer.
Yep. I think it makes it actually a little bit more readable, which is interesting. Which makes sense. Like you would want a font that makes it so you can quickly tell what the letters are without having to try to inspect it. So
yeah, it looks nice and clean.
So with getting started with this, I kind of did what's that?
Jim called us nerds.
Jim's just jealous. He wants to be a nerd again.
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, so before we got started, I wanted to actually start working on building up the page here. So all I did so far was I added the view page for this and added it to the controllers, right? So this way the view will go through. Sorry, I got a text here real quick. Let me just see. Got stuff happening. Yeah. Sorry, still making dinner plans.
Yeah, you know what? I was trying to think of something to talk about, and the space net just drew a blank. So I'm sorry, everybody. I wasn't expecting to be on the spot just out of the blue, and I'm not sure where he was going with this because this is all stuff he worked on since we talked last. So, all right.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, just talk with Jim. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, all right. This is why this one's the less formal of the streams.
So all I just wanted to really quickly just express that I added those in there. So now we've got that going there. What I'm going to, I was going to use Phaser, but I was going to do it through their, they have CDN. So I'm going to use the CDN to load it in, but I forgot what the CDN is.
CDN?
Yeah, so they have the library package up on a server that we can just pull from versus having to download it and keep it as part of the stuff. What I'm running into here is, where is it? Come on. Oh, I don't care about how to... Maybe it's under the download. Maybe that's what I missed. No.
This is where you were.
Yeah, this is where I was.
Is it the JavaScript or? You wanted to click that TypeScript, didn't you?
I did. I did.
I wanted you to. I was rooting for you.
Yeah, it's like they're talking about how to set up the server. Okay. No. Oh, here we go. So you can download it. So because it is a Git product, or like they're doing it in Git, it's available up there to actually take a look at, which was the other part that I liked about it, was that I could actually go and see how their code works, so I could learn a little bit about it.
Right, because the source was available. That's the other thing we did talk about.
Yeah.
So we could understand what was happening under the hood and learn from it, or if something was weird, we could go investigate it. So.
Right. So you can see there's a whole bunch of options for getting it. So I'm going to use the CDN. This way I don't have to worry about trying to download it or use an NPM and stuff like that. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. At some point we may decide that we want to do NPM, but mostly because I would like to find it interesting to add the module loader for the JavaScript. And I know there's a way of doing it from like just using CommonJS, but I don't feel like spending time trying to figure it out. That's what it really boils down to. Yeah. So this is what's going to allow us to do that portion. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is that you don't need to put anything else in here. We can just we can add our script tag in here, and it's basically done through a configuration to tell it what scene to load at the outset.
Okay.
So let's look at the whole hello world example. Nope. So I can get this piece here.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna copy this down. So we'll just put this up there to get started.
Okay.
That'll give us a place to jump off from. Yeah. So the only thing I think I actually did do this before. So all right. So here's their hello world example, which is basically a particle emitter and an image, and we'll kind of go back through it real quick, and so we can see what other stuff we want to do with it, because we do need to. I think my main goal for today is trying to get the SignalR hooked up to it, so the SignalR will actually take an event from the game, or from Twitch, and actually do something with it. Sorry, it's getting stuck. All right. So this is their sample, right? And fairly simple, nothing too crazy about it. You can see they set it to a much smaller window size. I wonder actually if I reload the stream, it should actually find it. No? I guess not. I thought I had it on the strip there. SignalR has actually been working out for us, Jim. Like, we actually had this set up where we were doing it, so.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad.
It's not too bad.
I feel like it's gotten better. There's certainly a lot more people using it than way back when we were looking at it.
Yeah.
Like 11 or whatever, 12 or something. No.
Yeah, that was rough. That was when browsers couldn't support a lot of the stuff, and the version of SignalR itself couldn't do a bunch of stuff.
Right, and just the techniques of doing it hadn't really advanced as much.
Yeah. It's good. So coming through this, Pete, you can see like this here, this config block that it's got.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually what gets this going. So like this first portion here, this type, what it's really talking about is what type of, how it's going to render the graphics to the screen, right? So you can do, it's like you can do auto, WebGL, or Canvas, right? So
okay.
Yeah. So what's nice about auto is that it'll go for WebGL first, and then if it doesn't find support for WebGL, it'll automatically downgrade to Canvas. Because WebGL will give you the best performance, but if the browser or the computer that it's on doesn't support it, it won't. Or phone or whatever the device is that you're using it on.
Right.
So weird to have so many devices. And then here you just have your configuration for the height and width. There's actually some stuff in here you can do that will let you go to a full screen and those types of things as well.
Mhm.
But I don't think we need to actually even worry about that because we're going to do it where it's at a set size.
Right. That's because it's going to be like a lens that fits over the stream eventually. So.
Right. Yeah. And I thought I had it set up right. I should see why that's not happening real quick.
Is there like a position setting? There probably is, huh?
For what?
To like offset, like it's got the height and width. Does that always start from like 0, like up in the top corner of the page? I guess it does.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, now it's over top of me. Because it's up in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know if you'll see it on the stream here in a second. So the phaser's running. So it's actually getting to the page there, which is good. It's not.
That's cool.
I don't know if I want to let that can finish running. I'm going to have to hide that for right now because obviously it's right over my head and over the code. So it doesn't have any... oh, you know what would be neat, actually? So here, let's do this. We can actually change this. Right, so we're going to make this 1920. So we want it the full size of the screen, so it's going to be 1080. We can leave that in there. What I was thinking we might be able to do is instead of having sky...
Right, take the background out there.
Yeah, take the background off of it. Right, and...
What? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I see how
I
it's looking.
Yeah, so this is what's adding the sky image. Okay, so just a real quick here, right? So going through it, the preload will have... Like, so the scene has a couple of like events that are fired as part of the scene, right? There's the preload event, which is basically, in this case here, it's basically does all your setup for you. In this case, it's downloading assets, right? In this case, it's downloading the phaser image and the red sprite that's used for the particles, right?
Mhm.
And then there's the create. Now the create basically will set the stuff up onto the scene, and it will actually take over and run all on its own.
So is this like life cycle hooks basically is what we're
Yeah,
looking at here? Okay.
Exactly. And they have more than just this. They actually have an update, which means like each frame you can actually have a frame piece going through it. But because of the way that they've done this, you can actually have like these. The way that they're doing it, it's like, okay, we're gonna create this logo, right? So we're gonna take it from the image, we're gonna add it to the thing, and it's gonna be part of the physics. Now we're gonna say set the velocity, and you're done. The velocity itself automatically takes care of itself, like, so you don't even have to worry about it. So what this means is it's moving at x of 10 and y of 200, right? So that's the force
Okay.
that it's getting. And,
Okay.
yeah, and then you have set bounce. I don't remember what these parameters are for, but it basically lets it bounce around it. And then this is, oh, I think this is the position where the bounce is, like the position of the image on it. So
Okay.
and Jim's botting us. Yeah, so then you can set this up, and because it's create, it will just now do this. Like, you don't have to do anything else special about it, because in the create, it's telling the scene, hey, do this stuff for us, and we don't have to do anything extra. Now, if we wanted to have things happening on each frame, we can actually do some extra stuff where we can do it between all the frames. It'll actually let us do some extra code, like we were doing and all the other stuff that we've been developing right now.
Okay.
So with this and removing the background of the sky, it should be okay. Let's take a look at it and see what that looks like. So I just need to reload this. Let's make sure it comes back the way we expect it to. Yeah. Well, so now it's got a black background. I'm concerned that this black background is going to be...
Like maybe we can't see through it.
Yeah, let's see what happens, because yeah, see, it's doing a black background. There's got to be a way in Phaser to get rid of that. So now it's time to RTFM.
Look at my phone here real quick.
Yeah, so the part that may be difficult for us with this is I don't know how good their document. I mean, it seemed like they had pretty decent documentation But I don't know how well we're gonna do with it, because it seemed like they have the API documents. They don't show a lot. Let's see if we do this. Phaser IO. What?
Transparent background or something? You're gonna do like a specific.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Render transparent, true. Does it actually do anything, or is he wishing that's the way it worked?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Let's give it a try. See what happens.
All right.
Worst case, it doesn't work. I think that's where it was, right? Game. Yep. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
inside the curly though. Okay, it is inside.
Yeah, it's inside the. Oh, that was too much. Yeah, it was just I wasn't this. So this config here is done separate than the game. That's why I thought maybe I was in the wrong spot.
Okay.
But it looks good.
I think it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Can't tell. Nope. Still not working. Let's see if there's something in here for it. Let's do background. Oh, that didn't help. That gave us more stuff, more options. Maybe there's a config.
Yeah, right. Just look at the config definition itself.
Yeah. What are our options here? Oh, here we go. Let's just do it online. Oh,
is this where we were?
Yeah.
This is where
this is where I'm at, right? Figure 3 docs, index HTML. Oh, maybe these up here. Oh. So let's see. It's probably under game. Oop. Game. Here we go. There we go. Oh, it's just transparent. Well, that would have been easier.
Oh.
I think it's just that. That looks better. Oh, isn't that weird?
Oh, now it's white.
Well, it's because white would be transparent, right? So it should be
Oh,
transparent.
because you're looking at it in the browser window still? Is that what?
Yeah, that was the browser window. So now let me. Yeah, so there you go. So now you'll be able to see it. It'll just kind of bounce around the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Forever.
There you go.
Yeah. So let's see if it. Oop. Yeah.
That's cool.
It is interesting that the it's got those. It's kind of neat. I wonder what that graphic is. Like, what are they using for that? 'Cause that's pretty cool.
For the trail, like that sparkle.
Yeah.
Particle.
I want to see if No, this is code. Let me. Oh, maybe I'll just have to go to it directly. Let's see. I'm just wondering, like.
Is it that red particles?
Yeah, it's this here.
So what's that red PNG? I wonder.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. I was hoping I could get to it right from the sources, but it wasn't popping up. So now I have. Huh.
Oh, it's just a dot, like with
Yeah.
a
It's just a simple dot.
gradient.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It is interesting. Like, what do they do to it? Or is it just the density of them?
I think it's the density of them, right? So if you look at, going back through some of the code here, right?
I can see
So,
it.
right. So the particles here, this particle is actually just telling it like this is the image to use, right? So that because this up here, when it loads an image, it gives it a key, and so that key obviously can't be in there, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
Jim's right. I think it is the density and the brightness. So it's interesting. So you can see here it has blend mode and it's add. So that's what's actually giving it that option that's kind of causing it to like grow out from it
Hmm.
because it keeps piling up on top of itself. Um,
Right.
and yeah, Jim, I think you're right too because look at this. Like, so it has this scale here, right? As part of so this is the emitter that it's creating, right? And it's telling it how to operate. You have a speed, you have a scale, which this means it starts at a 1 and goes down to 0, right? So 1
So is
being
that like a fade out kind of thing?
yeah, it's like a full size down to 0 size, right? So think it's percent like like a percentage of it, right? And then you have the blend mode, which is in this case is an add. So this 100 actually I think is what is doing it, but I don't know what 100 means. I don't know if it means 100 uh, like items per second or what. That was the part that I
Maybe.
was. That was
Yeah, it might be the count, or could it be
yeah.
possibly how long they burn?
I don't think so, right? So watch this, right? So if I
Oh, how
change this
long?
to I change it to 10, right? You'll see now it's just a little line. Like it's not as like it's not
It's not like
flowing as
bubbling over.
yeah. But watch when I change it to like 500, right?
Yeah.
Now it's just like it's just going crazy. Like it's just like
Yeah, that was just like exploding. Why?
yeah.
Why is
So I'll have to learn a little bit more about some of what these options are doing. But I thought that was pretty neat that's actually
that's kind of awesome though.
yeah. Let's see what that. Yeah, see, it's like so speed. It's weird. I don't know 100% what it's actually indicating. So we can actually take a look at the documentation now that we've figured out how to use it. Right. So we can. It's going to be. So it's probably the manager, I guess. So maybe I think we may want to look at actually the manager. Because the manager takes a scene. Oh, that's a little bit different than what I was expecting. How do we do the call to it? It's particles. Oh, so it's part of the particles create emitter. Oh, interesting. Okay, I hadn't thought about doing it like that. That seems like a good way to do it. So then we just go to the particles, and then we want to look at. Oh, this doesn't even have. Doesn't have the create emitter on it.
Is that like a static kind of deal? Like where's that coming from? It's just on particles, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're on particle, so maybe you need to be on particles because that was a particles dot emitter, wasn't it?
But this is just a namespace, right? So we have the heck is a gravity well? Oh, interesting. Just got some interesting settings we're gonna have to try to figure out, huh?
Yeah, yes it does.
Let's do. see. Maybe we need to look under here for particles. Nope. This is. I'm looking for something that says emitter. I don't see. I'm not seeing what I was expecting to see. Yeah, right. Let's see.
I'm searching on my end. Too.
Okay, yeah. I need some assistance because I cannot find. There's an add emitter, a create emitter. Oh, it's on the manager. It's weird. I guess that particle when it gets created actually is part of the manager. Right. So this will actually have the configuration here.
Oh, so this is it. So this is all the settings. Wow.
Right? Wow, there's a lot. Okay, here's a speed. It's not telling us.
It's a lot there.
Yeah. Oh shoot, where was it? That was speed. Oh, it's radial speed. Oh, that would explain. I was wondering about that. I was like, why did it go from, like, so radial speed means obviously like how fast it goes around.
Okay, so that's why it was in a line as opposed to kind of popping out everywhere?
Yeah, so if I did 10, which is a radial speed, lower radial speed, you'll get the, so there's no movement to it at all. I wonder if that's like a...
I still don't understand how it works though. What do they mean radial speed then? Like, does it sweep through a range or something?
Yeah, right? It just says the speed in pixels per second.
Oh, because they're not coming out as far before they disappear. That's why. Because the time that they exist is less. Maybe. Or not they exist the same amount of time, but they don't get as far out from their source in that period of time. Like maybe that's what it is. Because they're moving slower.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it still gets... Yeah, maybe because it's not moving out from itself.
It looks longer. It does kind of look longer.
So, yeah, I think what's actually maybe happening here is, like, so let's try moving this up slowly, right? So, do this. Actually, maybe I could just leave that one up there, and then I can run the other one on the web browser. So I think what I may need to do is not have that phaser bouncing around. What if we
see what's happening?
Yeah, because I think the emitter, what's happening is as it's going with it, it's changing where it's at, right? So it leaves it wherever it created it as it's moving. Mm-hmm. So we end up with this, I mean, pretty awesome looking tail, right? That's happening on it.
Yeah, but they're staying closer in a line because they're not moving out on their trajectory.
Yeah, so what if I just set this to 0 and set this to 0?
Can't you just turn bounce off? Wasn't that a switch?
Well, but then it'll still...
Oh, then it'll just sit.
Oh, gravity's taking over. Ooh, and then it bounces.
That's awesome.
All right, that wasn't quite what I was going for.
It was fun to look at, though.
It was.
All right. You can turn the gravity off, too, right?
Um, you know what I could do is I could, instead of having this emitter, what if I just commented this out? What does that do? Oh, the emitter's at 0,
It's just
0.
up. Okay.
Ooh, that actually might be a good way to take a look at this, right?
Yeah, because we could just stick it in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. I think this had an X component, so like let's do what?
Do percentages? Can you do like 50-50? Get it in the middle.
No, it's not. It's not like a percentage. This is like an actual pixel. So, well,
Like,
need that divided by 2. Let's try that and see what happens. There we go. Put it right in the middle. So, actually, that's really cool looking. It's like,
yeah.
it looks like it's like bubbling. Oh, that's pretty slick. All right, so what if we? So now if I put this back to 100, right? So we can see what's actually happening. What's happening with it at that time. Yeah. Okay.
So they're blasting out, but I guess the particles just make it like a random direction. I wonder. I bet you can skew it.
I think it is just a random direction. Well, I think you can. I think it's by default. It all goes in anywhere, right? This is just like it gives you like a default thing, so actually something will happen right away, right? I'm wondering if we even change like the let's see, we could
Angle. There's an angle.
yeah, let's see with that.
This is fun.
Oh yeah, so you can give it a min max, see? So we could actually go in there and do it was angle, right? So that's the default value, but let's say we just wanted to go from, let's do 0 to 90. Let's set this to 200 so it's big and explosive.
But in one direction. Well, a sector. No.
Yeah, it should be. Oh, I forgot a comma. I just realized as soon as it didn't work, I'm like, I forgot a comma. Okay, so what this helps us know, right, too, is that 0 is to the right. So, yeah, looking at it, it's to the right. So it's going from right to the bottom, right? That's why it's boiling off in that one direction. You know, I wonder. Yeah. So that's pretty neat, right? So we can actually see what's happening on that one. Let's see what some of the other features do in this, right? So we're able to do that. Let's check this blend mode. I want to see what the options are for that. Nope.
It's just.
Here we go.
Oh, this is the actual.
Yeah. Because it's basically converting add. All right, so it's a lot of the similar thing. All right, so what are these ones? Destination atop. Destination out blend mode for canvas only. The existing canvas is only kept where. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought those terminologies looked familiar because that was canvas. I remember seeing it on there. Erase difference. That's interesting. So that's actually. Oh, look, I have all of them right here. I can actually look at. Oh, there's a normal. So let's try normal, just so we can see. I want to keep that.
Okay. Yeah, see what the effect is, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
look at that.
that's pretty neat. So it's actually, yeah. That is very cool. I wonder if because
Well,
I
what
actually
does add indicate then? What is?
so so what does add indicate? It's like
Yeah.
um so if you've ever you would see it with if you use any of the paint programs when you do a like you have two layers, you can actually test these out because that's what it'll look like, right? So if we were to like I think what it does is it takes the color values and stacks them, if I remember right.
Hmm.
So let me actually. So I actually have. Where are we going, John? Get one of the. So I have some images here. Right. So like if we were to bring this in, right, and then I wanted to copy that, add another layer, and I put it on top of it. Now these are kind of adding in a one way, right? But I could actually go and say, I want this layer. Let me go to its settings. So this is a normal mode, but you could do additive, which I think is the same, right? So now you'll see that it's actually adding, it's making it bigger because it's adding the colors together, right? So it's I think what it's actually doing is it's bringing all the color closer to the high numbers, right? So it's basically getting closer to white, which might actually explain why you see this little, no, this is in normal mode.
Yeah, but when you did the add, it did get whiter. Like there was a lot more white.
Yeah, because it brings it all up to the white. I was wondering about if it's what's causing these weird blocks. Like, it's not as clean.
Mm-hmm.
It might just be a really small graphic, so it's like a zoom problem. But like, it looks like I could even, if I change this to...
Just go put another one in there. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was trying to... But I actually have... try using the asset that I have. I may need to do this up here before setting that. Just images, sprites. Images, sprites, then what was the... It's called Blue Star.
Blue Star.
So let's see if that... Yeah, Jim, I think you're right. I think that's what it is. Exactly, that it gets closer and closer to the white. So this is interesting. I did run into this before, and what's neat is that what it's basically saying is like it couldn't find the image, but it doesn't not do it. It just gives you a bad image.
Just rendering the bad image.
Yeah. So the first time I ran this, so one of the problems I ran into was this came in as HTTP, but I actually have this running where the server's actually running as HTTPS, so it was failing to load the assets, and so I was getting like a whole bunch of weird stuff happening.
Oh, so how do you correct that?
I changed it to HTTPS.
Oh, okay.
So I had to make that call. So this originally came in like this, where it was HTTP, and so then it failed to load the assets. Like, so if I reload it now everything will be. So this is what I saw was this dot and a bunch of these blocks coming off of it, and I was like, I don't think that's what it's supposed to look like. I was like trying to figure out what I did wrong. Oh, you know what? I don't know, Jim. I think what actually may be happening is that this is trying to load an asset from the wrong spot. What I think I'm gonna have to check. Let's see. I wonder if we can actually look in here under the network resources. Yeah, see, I think it's trying to still use the. You can see it's trying to use the Labs Phaser IO, right? Like it does for this one. I think what I might need to do is just take this, put this in here, and get rid of this.
Ah,
Right
so
there.
okay, so it doesn't substitute that in.
Yeah.
Now it'll run to like the local.
Yep. Oh, that
Look how
still
big
didn't
it
load
is.
up. Oh, you know what? I left it as HTTP. Let's put that back to it, right? And the reason I found out about it is because I came in here and I could see it's like mixed content. Like the page can't load. That's when I was like, ah. So that
That's
image is very big to start. You can see the little stuff boiling off of the side of it.
yeah. It's weird.
It is. It took a while for it to. Do you notice like it takes a while for it to get started? Like it's like the rate is a little slow.
At first,
Yeah.
it did seem like yeah, you weren't seeing as many coming up at first.
Yeah,
Strange.
if I do well, you watch like even the bouncing is slow. Like, see how
Yeah.
even the bouncing is slow? Now it's going right. So now it's hit its full frame rate. I wonder why that is.
That's awesome. I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. That image is way too big for this.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, so it's the same idea, right? So that's kind of what's happening here is similar to that. I think additive is a little crazier on this one. But, yeah. So I should probably... wonder if we brought that in and actually used... Oh, you know what? We can even do... I think we can even do animations as part of the piece,
really?
right?
You'll
Yeah,
just pick up on that?
I think so, because I think the assets in general are just like sheet. Wow, how did it get all this? Oh, that's why it's not giving. It just kind of has everything. Let's look at the documentation real quick. I think that was cool. Let's see. They have. I think they had a quick example of an animation, so we can get the code for it. I think all we have to do is actually load it as a the right kind of asset for it.
Okay. Like, right, so it can identify what it's supposed to do with it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why don't you try that little mummy or something? Or that, yeah, animation data.
Yeah, there we go. How do I see?
You just view source. Is it right on in the JavaScript?
Maybe. That seems like a silly way for them to.
It does seem silly. No. How do you call it?
Well, this is definitely it because this is the scene, right? Sprite sheet. That's what it is.
Yep, and then you can just drop it on.
Yeah, and then you gotta tell it.
Set the frame.
Oh yeah, frame width and height. All right, good. So we can try doing that one. So let's do that, and we're gonna call it smoke.
Smoke on the water. You know this was a music show, huh?
What's that?
I started singing. I was like, you didn't know this was a music show, huh?
Yes. Should break out the horns.
Yeah, right. I'm jealous of Kevin. Viewership.
All right. So, but how was that? Oh. So, and frame. I don't remember what it is for that graphic. That's why I gotta try to. Gonna have to- All right, so there. Uh, 5, right? So it's 256. I think it's 256 by 256 actually. Now that I've seen it, so I did have it figured out at one point because I did use this on my own stuff. So I did have to figure it out. So,
Right.
so now we'll have that asset. So now I can use, instead here, make this from smoke.
Or are smokied.
Yeah, right. Let's see.
Yeah.
But
And it's why is it?
I don't know if it's doing the animation. You can see it's kind of static.
It looks like the outline is.
Well, so the graphic here. Let me open up the graphic so you can see it, because that might help.
Are we still loading it into the particle emitter? Maybe that's a problem.
Well, it should be getting loaded into the particle emitter. That's the thing, right?
But you want it to be smoking as it
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, so I want to see this animation happening as it's going, right? And that's the part that let me try. But so you can see it looks like it's static right here. That's what makes me think the whole thing's static.
Yeah, except maybe that's where it's spawning. So it's the first frame's always there.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? So it would look like it's always on.
Let me. Yeah, and so that's on normal. So okay, so it should have shown up. I know, can't quite make it out, right? It's like I'm trying to look closely at it, but it seems like it's just shrinking. Like it's,
Yeah, right? Like it's just fading away.
yeah. Let me see if we have some examples with still animation. Let's do particles. Particles.
Don't see particles.
Don't see particles. Am I missing something?
I'm trying to think of what else that would be in.
Yeah, right? I mean, maybe there was one in here for it. I didn't. No. I think it's still weird that I think it's weird that it starts off slow and then goes faster. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's figuring out how to do it. Oh, this has this delayed play, so it's random. So it feels like I should be able to add the sprite. I mean, it's taking it okay, but it's just not doing the animation. Let's see if we can do. Let me try phaser 3. Um, doesn't show how to do it there. Maybe particles can't use like an animation.
I suppose that could be. It's weird though. Animated particles in Phaser.
This is pretty nice though. I like the documentation, but it doesn't. It's very quiet right now.
Yes, it is, because everybody's reading.
Interesting. Let me try doing a search here. 'Cause that's not. See.
Oh, animated particle?
Well,
Is
no,
that a
this
thing?
is.
Is that what he wants to happen?
Oh, maybe I need to have. Maybe I need to actually have an animation. Maybe I missed something. That would almost make sense.
Like you're not animating it?
Yeah. Like. So here's the thing, right? So the sheet, what's nice about the sheet is that what you're doing is that you're telling it, okay, everything on this sheet has a frame width of such and such, right? So X, Y. And then what it does is that it actually goes through and it will automatically figure out how many frames there are. But what you can do is something like what they do with a lot of stuff like this is you get an animation sheet, right? And so like this is a good example of one. Oh, that's not big enough. So what you actually have here is that these 4 frames here, right? So if you were to say index from 0, 4 frames, this is my standing idle frames, right? So that's the animation for that. And then you have this other 3 here, or maybe it's these 4, right? So it's actually going to say, you're going to say start at 4, go 4 more frames, and then that's my crouching animation, right? So the sheet is this whole thing, but you
Right.
wouldn't necessarily animate the whole thing, right?
Right.
You would
Right.
actually
You might want a segment.
Yeah, you want just a piece of it, and you're going to say this is that animation that I want. So I think that's what we're missing.
So we didn't define that out. Okay.
Right. We didn't define the animation for it, right? So that was where the problem came in, that I missed it on here when we were looking at it. Can I close this? Nope, it's not wanting to get bigger. Okay.
There's frames, frame rate.
Yeah, so there's this.
Scale. Walk.
Load walk. Oh. Here's. Oh, there we go. You see it's creating the animation there. Ah, that was some weird music. All of a sudden in the background, it's like somebody went, whoopsie. All right, so let's copy that. And then if I take that and we do, shoot, it was this anims.create. Just try doing it from here, I think. We'll put that in there. It's obviously not going to be that. So we can say the frame rate is 15. We're going to say smoke. This is going to be from smoke. Oh, that's actually cool. I can just tell it use all the frames from that. Repeat.
Okay, so that's just going to read right through all the frames.
Yes. So this is basically going to get the frames that are in that
Yeah, from 0 to end.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So because that's what we want for this one, because it's all of them.
Right, but you could have put like that 0 to 4 and got those first 4 frames.
Correct.
Okay.
So now back here. Oh, something didn't work. This time I don't know what I did. Oh, missing.
Ren.
Oh, it's because I missed that. This shouldn't be there. That. Still doesn't quite look like it's doing it.
It does not look like it's doing it.
Oh, you know what? I have a problem here. I think. Let's call this float. And now what if I use float here? Maybe that's right.
Oh.
It did not like that. Oh,
that's not the way to go.
It couldn't load it from the animation, right? So, particle. Let me look at that again. Isn't that how I did it? Wasn't that the... this add particles. Alright. Let's try the... Try the plural version of it. Nope, it's not gonna be there. Let's do... No, it's gotta be particle. Let me see what the methods are here. See, it has a frame. So it makes me think that it should support it, but I'm doing it wrong. Let's...
Yeah, it really should work, right? Because you might want to like emit an animated particle. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like it's some bizarro thing to want to do in a game.
Oh, wait a minute. What if this should still be smoke?
So what's that key for then?
So if you look at what they were doing here, right? It's on the sprite. Sprite.animate load.
.play.
So what if particles have that same functionality, right? So maybe on the particles here, I need to do particles .anim .load float, right? And then do what was that next line? Play. Was it? It was anims, right? Yeah. So then do play and put float into it.
I'm hopeful. Maybe, yeah, because that should start it now, right?
Oh, it didn't like something. Cannot reload of undefined. Ooh.
Who is undefined?
This is undefined. So particles didn't have an anims. I have a feeling this frame is actually just saying it's a single item, so maybe we can't do it. It seems odd.
It does seem odd.
But maybe it I can the reason
Oh no, man, I'm watching it happen here on this here. I'm gonna paste this to you.
Okay.
I'd stopped. I had wanted to come back. I thought I had found something, and I wanted to come back and see what you were talking about, because you were talking about something on your screen.
Right. Okay.
So try this.
Uh.
I slacked it to you.
Oh.
It's a link.
Oh. Still right over the screen. I was right over top of you. It's like, oh, you put it in general.
Did I? I thought I sent it right to you.
Maybe you did. Hold on.
Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
did
there
send
it
it.
was. Let's see.
He's doing some JavaScript stuff there, boy. But if
Uh.
you click on the black box, it pops a bunch of coins out that all move.
Yeah.
Like, it's happening. That's what we want to happen with the smoke.
Oh yeah, but look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It gets a little wild.
I don't
Not
know if
really.
we need to go all that. Let me see where it was setting it up. Right. Coin particles. All right.
It's not really that bad. I see
Well,
JavaScript types that get spooked a little.
yeah. Well, I think part of the problem. So there's the. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the fact that we're actually doing a prototyping on this coin piece specifically, right? Um, and then they're using the create particle. Which is this function here.
So how is that happening?
So this is what's happening here. Is like, see, it's the particle class that it's using is this coin particle. So you know what? You know what they may actually have for that. I'll have to see. Maybe if I looked in plugins. I wonder if they have. No, this is books. I want to see plugins.
There you go.
Oh, it's only Phaser 2 at the moment. They have ones for sale. Oh. What does this say that we can do with it? Oh. Maybe there's a way to do it. I don't know. I think it's. I mean, I think it'll be okay with what we're probably doing. But it would be good to figure out a way to maybe make it possible in the future.
Yeah, but we could still have little adventure walk across the screen or have the fire effects. So
Yeah. So I'm going to take that off. I want to go. I want to comment that out. Put this back in. And we don't need that. We want this to go back to the red. That blue. Because the red was nice. I'll put this back to. I wonder if we can. Let's see. So we could even do this where let's go out the top, right? So that would be 180 to 360.
okay.
Let's make this
Skip like a Roman candle.
Yeah, right. Whoa!
Ooh.
I mean, that's looking pretty cool. That's kind of what I was hoping it would do. Except I was hoping it would look red.
Yeah, well, the image didn't get pulled in, but that might have to do with the padding you did up there.
Oh shoot, you're right. You're right. That was their asset.
There you go. The boxes are weird.
Yeah. Whoa! All right, maybe 800's a little high. Yeah, the boxes are weird. I wonder. It must be from whatever the image itself was that has that kind of left over. But you know what's funny is like, so here, like, look at this now, right? If I come in here and I take out this transparent, like it's way less noticeable on black.
Yeah.
Way less noticeable.
Yeah, like you almost can't see it at all, really. Like you
Yeah,
have to know it's there and be looking.
Yeah, if I look closely, I can see it kind of like around here at the beginning of it, but then once it gets out, it goes away. It's weird. I'm not sure why its transparency doesn't work well on white. So here's what I was thinking. Right. Oh man, we're running out of time here.
We are running out of time, but we got 15 minutes. What do you want to do?
I wanted to try and bring in the I want to bring in all of this. I want to bring in the Signal R. So I'm going to do that here, and I'm going to bring it over to my new one, right? So now what I'm not sure is I think where was that? Oh, that. So do I still have that coin example up? So I can do it from game. All right. So let's say instead of doing this, let's do something very similar to this, though. Right. Okay. So I'm going to should be able to do game dot add emitter dot add. Yeah. So this.
Do you want to actually add that emitter? Is that the deal?
I was thinking that, but I feel like, yeah, that's actually what I want to do. Is I want to try to do it where I'm adding this to it, right? So let's cut that out, right. And we'll go here.
In that chunk.
Yeah, but so this actually has to be game. So then we'll have the particles, and then we'll have the emitter. So the emitter will be there. So now what I'm wondering is if I can then, how do I kill an emitter? Right?
That's right. How does it stop?
How do we stop an emitter? I think we have to cast a spell. Are we spell casting here? I guess I'm just gonna have to Google it. So phaser 3 kill an emitter. So just dot destroy. Let's try that. Oh, well, I didn't take it. So, try doing a bang high peak. Ah, nothing happened. Oh, we got an error though. Oh, wait.
Laser.
Oh, I didn't bring it. I didn't bring it in.
Oh,
No.
Signal R.
Yeah, Signal R is what was missing. So when I created the page,
Uh-huh.
where are you? So I look on here. Yeah. See, I'm a bad person.
That wasn't so bad. That's an easy one.
I'm a bad person. All right. All right. Let's try it again.
Everybody's trying.
Yeah. Why? Let me go to the source here. Yeah, scroll this so it's more in the middle so I'll be able to see it. Let me see if we're even getting to it, because maybe we didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get an error message, which was good. All right, give that a try again. Oh, I did not hit the breakpoint.
It did not.
Maybe I need to restart the server. Let me see if where's my terminal? Oh, it definitely received it. Did I forget to start it again? Didn't I do that last time on main canvas? I forgot to do the start. Oh, I did. It's down here at the bottom. See? Because I am a bad person.
Oh boy.
And just so we don't accidentally end up blowing this up, I'm going to take this stuff out of here for right now. I should have. Oh. Nope, wrong thing. My game. I left it in here somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh, because I didn't need to do any of that. I can just do start. Let's try that. All right, WebSocket
However,
connected. Right. That's good news. So.
Should we try it?
Yeah, let's give it a try. Let me see if I'll see if we get to the breakpoint. Now we're hitting the breakpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my? Oh, put it down here. I cannot read property particles of undefined. Game is undefined. Oh, it is, because this is inside of this. No, it's not.
What's up with that? Is there not an ad on? It has to be.
So, I think what I want to try to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this. I'm going to put this up top. Right? Okay. Oh shoot, that's not going to work either. Maybe. See, it should have had access to game though.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me put that back. That doesn't make sense. Because is there somewhere that this is not this function? Yeah, see, right? So game should have been something. All right, so let's do try. If you can try that, type it in again. Oh, maybe it's blown up. Oh, no, there it
There
goes.
it goes. So there is no ad.
Why is there no ad?
Mm-hmm. You
Oh,
got to
wait a
dribble
minute.
in.
I thought this would have been. Wasn't that what they were doing on that other one?
I'm not sure. I mean, game.ad. This.game.ad.
Well, I mean that's okay. This might have to be a thing for
Game
another
was getting
day.
passed into that function you were just looking at. It was a parameter coming in on your example.
No. That was for a different piece of it, I think.
That one.
Yeah, and this game is still the same game.
That's the same one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Okay.
the same one that I'm getting. I just don't. What I don't know is that this may be for Phaser 2 instead of Phaser 1 because I think they were trying to do something weird with that. I don't know. What I was thinking is that maybe it's due to the scene manager because this is really adding it to the scene manager. So maybe this should be like scene. We got to come up with a better way to test this. We can. Let's just do another one.
I think there's some about scene.
Oh, now we've got an ad.
Oh, good. Get back to that.
Didn't
Something else
oh.
happened.
Oh,
No particles.
It's not a function. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to call it for right now, though, man. Because
yeah, it's 5:28.
yeah, and I actually have something I got to do. All right, I've got plans for tonight, so.
Okay.
But
well,
it was pretty neat. I mean, I think we got some better understanding of that. Now we just got to figure out how we can get one side talking to the other, right? Because that's the big question mark here is how do we get this to actually talk to the engine, right? Maybe there's actually a better place to put this.
Yeah, well, we did just kind of drop it right in there, trying to get at the end. So.
Yeah, like
a little reflection on this might be in order.
Yeah, I mean, at least we're getting into it, and I think there's some other way of doing this. We just haven't figured out what it is yet, and I think we'll get there. But not today.
All right,
I'm definitely gonna take a look at this at some point here.
Okay.
I am gonna push this code up to GitHub. Yeah. So added Phaser 3. And then push that up. Cool. So.
And then whenever you get it up to YouTube, let me know, and I'll push it up, or I'll set it up on the House Code website.
Yeah, it probably won't be till later tonight.
That's fine. And then tomorrow morning, right?
And then tomorrow morning.
All right.
Bright and early.
Bright and early. Be there, be square.
All right, bye, everyone.
So long, everyone.